What's up, y'all? It's KingBritneyChanel. You already know. So, honeys, the parents of Azriel Clary, they sit down to talk about their daughter, and they open up about a lot of stuff with Gayle King. So, before I give my breakdown and my thoughts and opinions on this, definitely make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope y'all enjoy my commentary.
I already know it's your girl, Britney Chanel.
Okay, honey, so when I first watched the video, like, I felt for these parents, okay? You know, they've been trying to see their daughters. They've been trying to, get a handle on this situation. And I feel like with the last two women, that being Azriel and Joycelyn, he's really taunting these parents. And I'm going to say, like, R. Kelly, and I'm thinking with these two girls, I feel like R. Kelly is being punished for maybe choosing these two girls, because these two girls in his whole situation have brought down the whole situation that he had. And the reason that I'm saying this is because these two girls had parents that were in their lives, a father and a mother in the household, that were going to pose a problem to R. Kelly. Now, R. Kelly, if y'all don't remember, like, please go and watch R. Kelly's interview with Gayle. R. Kelly was, to me, putting bits and pieces of the truth in his lies on that interview, okay? I do believe that there are some parents who willfully, didn't mind R. Kelly doing what he did allegedly with their children. I do believe some parents were okay with that. And typically when people have that philosophy of, if they gave their kids to me, it's probably because some of the parents were cool with that, allegedly for some pay. But with these parents, I'm just not getting that energy from them at all. I'm not getting that energy from them. And the reason that I'm saying this is because when you watch that interview with Angelo Clary and Alice Clary, they're very, like, the father is very frustrated and pissed off. He doesn't look like a father from that interview that would be going for this. And the mother, she kind of explained in the interview that, these people, they came on the premises of, that Azriel would be touring with R. Kelly, and they came to R. Kelly, I guess they said, with business proposals before, and he rejected them all. Probably because, in my mind, I'm thinking R. Kelly's mission was to probably finesse, allegedly, to get their daughter close to him. So their story is very much similar to the Joycelyn story, where it's like a person that pretended to be a Sony representative, is what they're saying. Said, your daughter could be with me and I'll supervise her while she's basically singing and doing whatever on the tour. She'll never be alone. So this is what, and then you have Azriel saying, hey, I really want to do this. This is my big break, because they initially were not comfortable with her going off. But she basically, they said, had tried to end it all before, and they knew that singing basically was helping their daughter, and they didn't want, the mother said the daughter was, like, I guess 3 months away from being 18. So it was like, if she told her no then, she was going to go anyway. And the daughter was like, if you do not, she was alleging that the daughter was saying, if you don't let me go, I'm going to try to do it again. And the mother was basically saying she didn't want to call her bluff because she knew her daughter had tried it before. And basically, they showed a consent letter. Like, I guess that's what, I don't know if that's what R. Kelly and his team is using to say, like, that, they did allow Azriel to go on tour. But the letter is not to R. Kelly, giving consent for her to be with R. Kelly. The letter is for her to be consent in, to be with this woman who they are claiming pretended to be a Sony representative. And this is, I'm going to say this to every parent and child that's watching. You really need to do your research when you are dealing with people, because you need to know, like, call companies. You know what I mean? They have, record labels. They have addresses. They have, an email team. you could find out this information, you know, from a secretary or somebody. Is this person a legitimate person? It is possible. You may not have access to the celebrities or whatever, but there is, you know where the record label buildings are and that sort of thing. They do have buildings and places, you know, actual physical locations. You know what I mean? So I guess, you know, you could call and maybe even leave a message and say, you know, is this person a legitimate person? Because I don't want to send my child off. I'm sure they'll have a representative or somebody call or whatever. But anywho, people got to research, you know, stuff. But I feel like it was all a part of grooming type of stuff. You feel what I'm saying? It was all a part of that. Like having these women, and TK did a video on it that proves that some of these people was enablers around this whole situation. So it was women or older women, you know, pretending to be in, you know, situations like they was his assistant allegedly and all this other stuff. So they could have been, you know, telling these parents this. And the parents, you know, them not wanting to deny their daughter an opportunity to pursue her dream, they like, all right, but it's like R. Kelly, it just seems like he took advantage of that whole situation. But I believe definitely that was his biggest mistake. And I'm going to tell you what I really think, y'all, about this whole situation. I feel like when you look at both of these fathers, when you look at Angelo Clary, when you look at Tim Savage, these two fathers and these two particular girls that he took was his big undoing. And I think R. Kelly at this point in time, I think he's being dealt with because he's revealed too much about what they have going on in the inner circle of the industry. That's what I really feel. Like if you watch, you know, different, you know, the girls alleging that different acts that, you know, are clear depravity. They're clearly defilement and stuff like that to gain loyalty to him or whatever. That sounds like the music industry type of stuff. And I'm gonna just leave that at that. Like, you know, what would you do to secure a career singing, whatever? Like, what would you do? And I feel like he's comfortable because he know that some of these parents was willing to do what they did. But I think these particular two parents was his undoing. Mr. Angelo Clary, Alice Clary, Jonathan Savage, and Tim Savage. These two families was his undoing. And I'm going to tell y'all why. If you listen to the audio that Tim Savage got up on the J Savage collection, and I played a little bit of it on my channel to where Joycelyn is on the audio saying that her dad her mother and father would have never been comfortable with her going off to be with no R. Kelly. They had her, she was off at school, you know, and a lot of people be saying that these parents be looking over, you know, be sounding overbearing. These are these people kids. You know, a lot of people don't have a normal mother and father in their household. You know, a lot of people came up with situations where, you know, the family was dysfunctional. It was a dysfunctional nuclear unit. Okay, so a lot of people that be leaving these comments, I'm wondering, was it a father or authority figure ever in their home or whatever? Or did they have a real mother in their household? Because if you have real parents that actually love you, they're going to make a big deal and they're going to be overbearing because, you know, mothers have that connection. Like when I see Jonathan talk about her daughter Joycelyn, you could tell that she has that connection to her daughter. Like that lady, when I seen her up there on that press conference, looked like she was going through some things at the thought of her daughter and stuff that's going on. And I really feel like these two families, like I said, was R. Kelly's undoing to bring the whole empire or what he had going on down. Whatever little situation that was of depravity that he had going on, they were the undoing of that. And it's because their parents was never with that. And you could look at the evidence. It's screaming in front of you that the parents was not with that. Angelo Clary said, you know, he found out that the daughter was at a hotel or whatever. They knocking, him and Alice knocking on doors, beating down doors to figure out what's really going on. And then I really think it's more so Joycelyn, and this is why I'm so worried about Joycelyn Savage, and I'm praying for that family for real. I'm praying for Azriel Clary too, but I really think Joycelyn is was the nail that brought everything down, like the pulling of the rug from under the situation. Because once Joycelyn left that college campus, honey, you saw Timothy Savage on YouTube. He was going to different places that R. Kelly was allegedly supposed to frequent. I seen him on these YouTube videos, and he was like, I need to talk to you about my daughter, bruh. I remember they did a press conference. They was getting, I think, a lot of notoriety and, media attention from the whole situation. And I think in R. Kelly's situation, that was the nail in his coffin. R. Kelly was able to get away with it that first time, but I think this was his undoing. And the reason why is he let his pride and his ego get in the way. Clearly, these parents the Clarys and the Savages, they were not with what he was trying to do with their daughters. And instead of him being like, nah, I got to get rid of these two and send them back because they gonna bring my whole shaboozle down, which I'm happy, but I'm nervous for the girls, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm specifically nervous for Joycelyn Savage. Number one, at that interview, Joycelyn Savage was the only one that had on all red, and y'all know that red is the color of blood. Red is also when the people put on them all red power suits, they call it the whore of Babylon type of stuff. And I feel like, once again, that allegedly could have, in my mind, because I'm not saying this is a fact, but I'm feeling like R. Kelly could have been taunting the fact again, like, I have your daughter, because people were alleging, when I watched the TK video, she was implying that people were saying that he had not a lot of favoritism with Joycelyn. And you heard his disposition of her when he interviewed Gayle. He said she could Jocelyn. First of all, he called her Jocelyn, and he said Jocelyn couldn't even sing. The only thing I liked, basically what he was implying was the only thing he liked about her was that she was pretty. And so y'all know, like, the scarlet letter, red, and all that particular stuff. Everybody else at the interview have on neutral colors. Like, Gayle have on black, Azriel had on black, and she did have on, like, little red shoes or whatever at the bottom. R. Kelly had on like a muted type of gray. The publicist had on gray, and Joycelyn was the only person in all red, as if she was some type of bullseye target. And I'm just really feeling for her, because I think that she's not favored by him. I feel like Azriel may be a little safer, because they claim that allegedly she's more favored by R. Kelly. And it could be the fact that she has a musical ability. They both share that connection. And I think that, she's in deep. And I feel for the Clarys, because I feel like their daughter is really, like, from the looks of it, it's like, number one, starting off, they said that she was going through a lot of emotional situations, especially with her trying to end it all. So when I looked at that interview, it looked to me like she was emotionally fragile. Like, 1 minute she was, up, 1 minute she was angry, 1 minute she was this, and she was acting similar to R. Kelly. And I feel like maybe he favors her because she is a resource to him as far as, like, music and that sort of thing, probably. They share that connection. She's probably able to write music, and she was talented. And I think with the Joycelyn situation, I think when Mr. Savage and their families was getting that media notoriety, and it was helicopters, and because he mentioned the helicopters flying over his house. And the Savages also, they filmed when they did welfare checks, had the police come to do welfare checks on the girls several times. So I think that R. Kelly, with her more so, it's just like, why not? He should have let her go years ago, because that was really his undoing. He should have let Joycelyn go years ago. He really should have let all these girls go years ago. But somebody that's an arrogant, that has arrogant and narcissistic traits, their pride gets in the way. Instead of them just stopping something before it destroy their whole empire and whole civilization, they don't do that. And I was nervous for the Azriel girl, or the young lady, because the parents had mentioned end it all pact that they had, like, if something was to ever happen, I guess, to R. Kelly, they would do whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So I just feel like this is a sad situation. And I think that R. Kelly, because these two girls, they have their fathers in their life, I feel like he's taunting these fathers. He's taunting these families because a lot of young women do not have that. Like, fathers going to bat for their daughters. A lot of black women especially do not have that. And, these were not the regular kind of vulnerable victims where it's probably like one parent in the household, they could tell the mother whatever, and the mother does not have that second line of defense. But these two parents, I'm going to say Angelo and Alice, it don't seem like they was going for that. And Angelo has been saying, provide the receipts if you saying that we gave our daughter to you. And I agree. Like, if you making bold claims like that, it's easy ways to provide receipts for that. I don't believe that they did that because it would be receipts. R. Kelly would be able to provide receipts. And then too, if a person is providing these type of receipts, it's nowhere okay for you to be trying to buy people at all. What do you call that? Y'all tell me what that's called. It's not okay to buy other people in 2019. It's against the law. So either way y'all spin that, it's not okay. I'm just praying for these parents, y'all. It's just a real hard situation. And I'm not confused. I'm really just more so like, how could people say that the parents need to just chill and go away? These are their kids. Their daughter was 17. They thought their daughter was doing a music career, and they had every right to believe that because their daughter is musically inclined. The girl Azriel, she's musically inclined. It was a woman that came to them reassuring them, talking about she worked for the label allegedly and stuff like that of Sony. And, Sony probably was so pissed off with R. Kelly for bringing that negative attention to them with the whole situation that they cut ties with him. Because everywhere you look at in this case, even with the Savages, they said somebody came talking about they was on the behalf of Sony and that Sony wanted to sign Joycelyn, allegedly. So it's just like, I don't understand why these people did all of this. They knew they was going to get caught someday, and I want all the enablers to go to the big house too, along with R. Kelly. If I'm just waiting for the trial to happen to see what's going to happen with R. Kelly. But I'm really praying for these families. The interview with Gayle was very telling, with Angelo Clary and Alice Clary sitting down to talk about their daughter, because R. Kelly made some real disrespectful claims, and I feel like they wanted to clear up what was going on with that. And Azriel was saying that she didn't want to do music, and that's why she allegedly tried to end it all, but they busted that out with receipts too, because it was about a prior boyfriend prior to R. Kelly. And music was actually helping her. They said they said when I watched the news report that it's actual record of that she, what the reasoning was, is I guess hospital records or whatever. Of course they can't share it all with people, but she has medical records of that. So there was a report last night that it was an end it all situation, but they said it was unfounded, so I'm not even gonna really report on that. But I'm just nervous for Azriel, because I feel like she really believes what R. Kelly is saying, and she really probably is in deep with R. Kelly. With Joycelyn, I feel like Joycelyn wants out, but R. Kelly, in my mind, is not letting her go because she has seen too much. I don't see why a person would have to meet up with their parents with a PR person if you claiming that these girls is free to go. That's just in my opinion. you know, of course, like I'm gonna say, you know, he's innocent until R. Kelly is innocent until proven guilty. In my mind, you know, I think what I think. You feel me? I'm not, you know, whether, you know, whatever the outcome of trial is, I'ma always look at R. Kelly with side eye. That's just me. But it's not sounding right to me that they have to have a PR mediator. So once again, they still have you in the room so they could speak. Once again, like a fly on the wall. People are not going to be themselves if they have a mediator, a camera, and other people around. They're not going to tell you how they really feel. Even if, you know, typically, like, even when children are victimized, a lot of the times the police don't like to have the parents in the room because the kids are not going to be forthcoming a lot of times. Well, they don't like, if they have a therapist, they don't like to have the parents directly inside the room. They may allow them to sit outside with the window glass situation to watch the situation. But typically, a person that is always around is going to be, you know, have some type of, may create some type of bias, or it's going to be some type of control, because if the mediator and the people that are R. Kelly related are there, are the girls really going to say how they feel about situations? So, I mean, that's just my thoughts on this whole situation. What are y'all's thoughts on my whole little, you know, theory about what's going on with this? Leave your thoughts in your comments down below. Please be respectful of the comment section and do not use profane language, okay? Because if you use profane language, it is going to be blocked, okay? YouTube has new guidelines, and I'm just asking that people be respectful of those things. And I will see y'all in the next video.